whatever it is that I went through, it was just important that I gravitate towards myself even more and more.
Returning to myself.
Yes, get bits of myself back.
Yeah.
Focus on that, because that's way more important. And then all the loud noise from the outside will literally just be on the outside of this soundproof world that I'm in. It's okay to be in your little fairy tale. And that's made me survive a lot of traumas. Being in this fairy tale world of mine, where I'm focusing on trying to make this fairy tale world of mine a little bit better, or improve things, restructure things. By the time I'm done with restructuring that, the noise is gone. I'm constantly grateful for being this body that I am.
Sure.
You know, having the talents that God has given me.
Sure.
You know, having the ability to be on platforms that I'm on. It's honestly grace.
Yeah.
It is honestly grace,
yeah.
and I cannot not give thanks.
If you're watching this, it means you have clicked on this episode because you are very intentional about your growth. You're intentional about igniting your inner power, and you're intentional about hearing and consuming content that uplifts you, encourages you, and changes your life for the better. Today is no different. We have an incredible guest. She is wise. She is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. I won't say more. Just experience her for yourself. Zola Mhlongo, how are you today?
Ngisaphila, Lungelo. How are you?
That's Zulu from KZN.
It is from KZN.
Ne?
But in Xhosa at the same time.
yeah.
How are you guys? I'm
Oh my
so
God.
honored to be here.
Really?
I am.
I'm honored to have you across me.
Thank you.
You're not just beautiful. As I said, there is an energy that you radiate as you walked into this lounge today. I'm just in awe.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ngiyabonga. Well, don't grow me.
How's your heart today?
My heart.
Yeah.
It's a bit cold because it's of the weather.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like, my heart feels so grateful. Like, I'm just in a garden of grace. So my heart is constantly just taking it in and giving thanks to the Almighty, because Gonke Loku is literally because of him.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a consistent theme on this platform, and I always love to explore it, where people say that they are grateful, they are content. And I always want to understand, what does gratitude mean to you, and what does it do for your life in keeping you sustained?
So gratitude for me is really just being grateful for where I am in my life right now. You know, I'm grateful because I know my yesterday and I know my today. And there's a huge difference
Sure.
from my today from my yesterday.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I'm grateful for that progress. I'm grateful for a new day. I'm grateful to be able to still dream and work towards my dreams and my goals. I'm constantly grateful for being this body that I am.
Sure.
You know, having the talents that God has given me.
Sure.
You know, having the ability to be on platforms that I'm on. It's honestly grace.
Yeah.
It is honestly grace, and I cannot not give thanks.
You said something about the ability of realizing the progress, that you're no longer living in your yesterday. When you realize and reflect on your yesterday and you look at today, you're like, grace.
It's all grace. And beyond it all, there's progress. Some days may feel like there's a bit of stagnation, but it's always important to go back and remember where you come from. And from there, like, there's massive progress.
Yeah.
You know, I think as human beings, sometimes we end up being too hard on ourselves. But I am definitely not where I was yesterday. And because of that, like, I'm just in awe of grace. God's grace.
Yeah, yeah. What's that one belief that you'd say you've had for many years, and because of new knowledge, you've recently changed your mind about it?
Oh, one belief that I had for many years.
Yeah.
And then now, because of my knowledge, I've changed my mind about it. Yeah. I think in the industry,
Okay.
yes. Ngiyabonga.
Yeah.
Okay. In the industry, I think it's that thing of always striving for perfection. That's one thing I always believed back then, that you need to be perfect. You need to be like this. I probably didn't get this role because I'm not like this, or I'm not this perfect. Society wants people to be like this, and I'm not fitting into that mold.
Sure.
And therefore, I'm probably not going to have space. But now, break that mold.
Yeah, yeah.
Create your own mold.
Your own space.
That will allow you to be within your own space.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's big enough. We come into this earth as different characters. We're all different. We all have something different to offer. Trying to be someone else takes away from the beauty of you. So being myself, realizing I'm not perfect, and standing for my truth. This is who I am. Namhlanje sana ndine acne and ndizothini because
and it's supposed to now.
And it is supposed to, and sometimes the funnels pop up because it's juicy. So like ndizothini. You do know what I mean? Like, life is about its different cycles, and going through them in the most authentic manner allows you to identify with people. It allows for people to connect to you.
I love that, because, I mean, if you can take me in, I'm sure there are moments where you are like, I'm not skinny enough. I'm not tall enough.
Of course.
My English is not as polished. My accent is
Of course.
Of course.
Yours.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you navigate those seasons in those times? Because obviously you weren't as so self-aware as you are now. Yeah. How did it feel back then when you felt inadequate?
I mean, it was really painful, and I think I had to undergo these stages of life where life says, no, you don't fit here. I had to undergo that from a young age, because I grew up being a model. I was Miss Sunday School. I won Miss DURBAN, Miss Spring Queen. I was a pageant queen, you know, and I was tall. So mina ngashesha ngakhula. Like, I grew up really fast. I was tall. The works, if you're standing in school, you know, I'm either second to last or the last one in line, because it goes height order. And then I guess I just stopped growing, because my body had now reached where it was going.
Yeah, yeah.
And now my peers are getting taller than me and all of those things, and got to a point where I needed to stop modeling. Because I didn't fit into what my agency at that time needed for a model. And I guess that rejection started at a very young age. But I would always then tap into what else I do, you know?
Yeah.
So it's then, my gosh, okay, cool. In musicals, I'm singing. Tap into that, make sure I get the lead roles. Because in whatever I do, I'm always trying to get better. Like, I'm always pushing myself to do better than how you did last year.
Sure.
You know? I want to live this life, and maybe my last days, God grants me old age. Did you know what? I believe I reached my full potential.
Yeah.
So every day is another opportunity to push myself further. Every day is another opportunity to think of bigger dreams, etc. So even when the modeling door got closed, I then tapped into plus size modeling. I was like, okay, cool. Let me open a space for myself on my own platforms with plus size modeling and see what this can do for me.
Yeah.
You know, I started becoming a body positivity activist.
Sure.
And really being comfortable in the body that I'm in now, because I realize our bodies are ever changing. And my thing about it is that, like, umzimba can be so inconsiderate.
Right?
So I'm literally dealing with the exams at school. And then the body decides to have hips, Jani, you know? So it's just a matter of appreciating every single season that you're in and finding light in that season. We need to find light in every season.
How much pressure is there on women to look a certain way in this industry, even today?
There's a lot of pressure. I I also think we put the pressure on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I can't ever deny. I like looking nice. I like looking good. I want to look in the mirror and love what I see.
Sure.
And that's something I try and even motivate, especially with my shapewear line. I want women to look in the mirror and love what it is that they see there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because she embodies so much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's overcome so much.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's just another feeling when you can look in the mirror, feel good. It somehow, you know, pours into everything that you do. You know, you'll drive good. You'll listen to good music in the car. You'll go to work and you'll be jolly.
Yeah, yeah.
And that jolly sort of energy then exudes onto other people, and you make other people smile. And I cannot emphasize how much I love seeing people being happy.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it
yeah.
makes me happy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and kindness is rare. Kindness is rare. So the more we can spread kindness and really just share in a laugh, we don't need to know each other's histories or the history of our lives. But if we can connect, Jay, with a laugh, a basic laugh, if we can connect with just good energy and spreading positivity, I think we're relieving ourselves from a lot of our realities.
I'm intrigued that you are all about spreading the positivity and connecting with ourselves in a way that highlights positivity, but you exist as a celebrity in an era. You're an actress, you're a musician, you're an MC, you're a presenter, you're a diverse talent who's strong in all these things, right? And that means that there's a lot of eyes on you that will nitpick how you do things right down to your personal life. You are not always getting kindness from other women. Why do you think there's so much unkindness from fellow black women on South African internet?
Life is hard. Life is hard, and we've been given the will to be able to express how we feel and say whatever it is. Everyone has a right to their own opinion. And I mean, not everyone is built with a tough skin. And a lot of us have had to just learn to have tough skins along the way. Like, we were soft. A lot of us were soft 24 hours a day, you know, for majority of our lives until we now needed to bulk up.
Yeah.
And the thing about bulking up, it's either you let it slide or you fight for yourself. And sometimes fighting for yourself can become different dynamics. Sometimes you're defensive. You know, it can come off as you being defensive.
Or untruthful.
Yes. Sometimes it can come off as you being overly confident.
Sure.
Can come
arrogant.
off like that. Yeah, arrogant.
Yeah.
You know, so there's just different ways that people react to these things, and you choose what suits you best. And I know that not every opinion deserves my opinion or my reaction.
Sure.
It really can't. It really can't. Also, we like different things. Not everyone is gonna like you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That is absolutely okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, just because you don't like me doesn't mean now I shouldn't like you. You know, it doesn't call for a reciprocation. You know, certain things will need my energy. So I would like to pour my energy into the things that need my energy rather than pouring it everywhere else. And where my energy is needed, it's falling short.
Yeah. I'll start pushing you a bit on that line of online bullying. As any person who seeks companionship and love, you were in a love that to a certain degree was known about in the public, and there was a lot of public humiliation, which irks me, by the way, because public humiliation seems to always fall on the woman, even when things are done to her and she is not the perpetuator of these things. Where did you run to when you were going through severe public humiliation?
I think I'm super blessed with a real solid support structure. So I have my mother, I have my God, I have my close family and friends. And quite frankly, I had my partner at the time. And that's who I needed to deal with the situation. And that was enough.
How much did it break you?
I don't ever want to say it broke me fully because I still had me.
Yeah.
I haven't lost me. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't ever want to... I also don't want to give situations like that so much power over me.
Sure.
So, cool, it happened. It was really painful at the time, but you need to carry on. Like, life needs you. I have goals. I have dreams that need me. And I did exactly that. I soldiered on.
And on the point of soldiering on, as I said, that things happen to women, but the burden is laid with the woman. I find it so perplexing that from both men and women, they are the ones who say, actually looking at, let's see how Zola will react. We're sitting there waiting.
True.
Will she crash out?
Guys, no. Like, certain things don't need you going dismal. Or losing self. You know, and I think that's why my support structure is so important, because in those moments, they're the people that remind you, oh no, you're going to be fine. Like, you know, this is... Also, it's not the first time I think
it happens to 10,
that's the thing about it.
100,000 people a day.
Tomorrow it's someone else.
Right?
You know? So, cool. Today is my day.
Yeah.
Peace, be still.
Ne?
Breathe in, breathe out. Sizoyolala ebusuku. Xa kubethe u-12 enye trench. So, honestly, like, I can't... And also, I'm a person that really does not like sinking in negativity. Or sinking in self-pity or... No. No, signori.
But you know, when things happen, there's a young lady out there right now who's going through something similar. Maybe not at the scale you went through it at, because of your fame and the nature of how public you both are rather. There's a young woman right now who just can't handle it, and she feels like, oh my gosh, this man hates me. Does it get better?
Oh, it gets better. Oh, it gets better. Kaloku, you always need to remind yourself,
Ngubani?
Wazalwa, we won, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So you have it within you. You still have it within you. And I'm learning every day to be selfish. Something that I've now had to learn, because that's not something that I embodied.
Yeah.
Because it's a dog-eat-dog world, you know, to some extent. You need to learn to be selfish and be kind to self, you know. So if anyone is going through anything of that magnitude, or you have something negative in your life, just be kind to yourself. Remind yourself that whatever it is that I want is still within me. No one can take that away from you. No one can take ubuena away from you, you know. Now, whatever it is that I went through, it was just important that I gravitate towards myself even more and more.
Returning to myself.
Yes, get bits of myself back. Focus on that, because that's way more important. And then all the loud noise from the outside will literally just be on the outside of this soundproof world that I'm in. It's okay to be in your little fairy tale. And that's made me survive a lot of traumas. Being in this fairy tale world of mine, where I'm focusing on trying to make this fairy tale world of mine a little bit better, or improve things, restructure things. By the time I'm done with restructuring that, the noise is gone.
I think many women can relate with that, actually, because you're saying, once you are rebuilding, you take back your power, you take back being yourself, you become selfish again in protecting yourself and your energy and your strength. And a lot of women can relate to the fact that perhaps women are trained that they must give even themselves to the relationship, not build a relationship, but give yourself away too.
Yeah. I mean, that's something... It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to get into a relationship and give konke onako, you know.
Scary
but at the same, it's very scary. But I mean, it's something that a lot of us do.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to wholly be in a relationship and authentically just be truthful. But this is me, and here I am. But have the energy also. But also payana, and it's not working, and bits of you are being bitten off, to step back and allow yourself to heal before you go and throw yourself back into the wilderness again.
How do you?
And I pray no one is in the wilderness. I pray let's stay out of the wilderness. No, and you know, there's nothing wrong with being alone.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being alone. I think also that's something we just need to try and learn to enjoy our, you know, our time by ourselves, you know. I think that's something where you need to start enjoying your own company.
We don't teach that enough, by the way, Zola.
We don't.
I was thinking the other day, as I was observing the trends of which episodes people watch. I was observing social media, what topics, features on radio do numbers. You give people a topic about relationships, they're there.
Of course.
You go to church, they will actually push you to aspire to be married as soon as possible.
Of course.
You go home, lalini. So this cuts across LSMs, it cuts across religions, it cuts across cultures. You Zulu, Xhosa, Tsonga, Pedi. You go home, they'll ask upumkhonyana.
Of course.
So the world is actually obsessive with teaching people to be in romantic relationships at all costs.
At all costs.
Regardless of the circumstances of those relationships.
That's very true. It's very true. And it's also very sad. But I guess it's what our parents know.
Mm-hmm.
It's how they grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been sort of like, it's just been a ripple effect. And it's also, it's even in our Bible, you know.
Ew.
So it's just that at the end of the day, you know who you are.
Yeah.
And once you really fall in love with self, you then start being able to put up the boundaries. But as long as that love, that self-love is not there, those boundaries will never be enough. You know, you will always allow people to do izinto. You'll push it a bit back. You know, I'll allow them to do this and all of that. And sometimes you just realize it's too late and you've lost yourself and zonke ezo zinto. But, you know, it is so, so important to start the journey of self-love. You know the tag self-care, those self-care days.
Yeah.
Those are
ice cream.
Small little things, that you show your self-love.
Sure.
Those acts, we need to actually make them
a priority.
Make them a priority at home.
Yeah.
Every Friday, I do not compromise. It's my self-care day.
Yeah.
You know, once a month or more than once a month, like I'm taking myself out on a date. No one's there. I'm going on a fine dining date. And this is something I do. I go on a fine dining date all by myself and I'll order my bubbles, order my meal. I think it was a 5-course meal. So take myself out and dine myself, because I want to treat myself the way that God sees me.
Sure, like the queen that you are.
Yes. And also, I think once I start treating myself that way, if I'm meant to have a certain man in my life, I'll attract the right type of man.
Who finds you there.
Yes.
And last but not least,
I'm not trying to be saved, by the way. I'm not trying to be saved.
By a man.
I'm not trying to be saved.
I'm in God and safe already.
Yeah.
In closing this topic, I know what you'll say. I know how you'll answer this, but I'll ask it anyway because I want to see how. Will you ever post umfana again?
His big toe. I'm joking. My husband, yeah.
Okay. So that's why we haven't seen anyone.
There's nothing. Show more.
Not that song.
That's the father of my child. He made hits.
Ne?
Please, let's not deny.
Upon hits.
Yes,
hits upon hits.
Boza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is co-parenting as a concept for you?
Okay. I think co-parenting is a journey of learning.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's I have one son, and it's just constant learning.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always easy, but it's constant learning. It gets
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
it gets better.
Are there moments where it was unbearable?
Not unbearable. Nothing
Ne?
can be unbearable for my son.
Whew.
Nothing can be unbearable.
Zola, that's powerful, because there are women out there who are denying access to men, who are living with a lot of bitterness and anger, and they feel it's unbearable. But you're saying my son comes before my feelings in that situation.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. It was our choice to bring him to this world. He was a planned child. So nothing can be unbearable. There's absolutely no way.
I love that. I want to go into your radio journey.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We scaled through that.
Yes. Good and well.
10 years ago, you were earning 2.8.
Do you want me to walk out? Are you trying to say I should walk out? No, 10 years ago, I was working for free.
But you're working on Vilakazi FM, right?
Yeah, but I was now a contributor on the show. And you know what? Like, you need to earn your stripes.
I hear you.
You earn your stripes. And I'm a firm believer of working your way up to wherever you're going at the top, you know? And I needed the people and the management and the execs at Vilakazi to see me. So I was hustling and sending DMs to people to please listen to my demo. You know, I remember I did my demo at DJ Target. No delay. Yeah. So I did my demo at his studio, Gamashu.
So.
And I asked my mom, I remember ngathi ma ngiyacela nje u200 ukuthi ngiyokwenza idemo yami. And umlwazethu was there helping me out, do this radio demo. And then he gave me CDs. So I think I had like 10 CDs, or I had bought those 10 CDs and then he copied my demo onto those 10 CDs. And I was like, okay, my mission now is to distribute these CDs, because my mom is not going to let me literally graduate and do nothing with my life.
Sure.
She's not going to allow that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to hustle. If I don't get into this, she's going to make me go back to school. And right now, like, the right, I've graduated, the right is suti.
It's good.
Good and well. Ingo. But, you know, I was just like, okay, I need to hustle. So I was sending DMs to people like, listen to my demo. Please, can I give you my demo? And, yabona ke uThixo, guys. Yeah, that man. One glorious day, Cinematography
I remember
responded to my DM on Facebook and asked us to meet. He wanted to hear my story. He gave me an ear. One niganje indlebe. Someone heard me out. Someone saw me. You know, I felt seen. And he took my demo and he said, I'm going to give it to the right people, and we'll see what happens from there. You know? And that's when my journey started with commercial radio, because I'd come from UCT radio when I was in varsity. But that's when my journey with commercial radio started at Vilakazi FM. Earned my stripes. I worked there for free for a year. And then the next year, Marty babes, come closer. And it was more than 2.8. Let me tell you something. Yeah.
So when at 2016 you had more than 2.8. Njani, how did you scam the system?
No, I didn't scam the system.
No, you earned your way there.
I didn't scam the system.
Sure. What was the first show that was yours now?
So I'd always, after Cinematography, then we had, I had a show with Mario that was Friday, Saturday.
The hip hop show. Was it the hip hop show?
It was a music show.
Oh, it was a music show.
It was Friday, Saturday.
And the evenings, hey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sazi ona i-weekend. I-weekend yayinathi. I-weekend yayihlala nathi.
Yeah.
Oh, in Durban. Those days were just beautiful. Beautiful. I also worked with Cinematography, worked with Mario, I worked with DJ Sonic. Oh man, it was just, it was a beautiful journey. And I then had a 3-year radio break, which was terrible.
Which year did you do at Sonic? Which show rather?
The name of the show, Naile Vibe.
I remember that.
Naile Vibe.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Naile Vibe.
And it was kwakumnandi.
No, vibe. Hey, vibe.
Good time.
Oh, vibe. Oh, give me a vibe. My gosh. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, yes.
Do you remember that one moment throughout your Kakasi career where you were like, damn, I love what I do?
Yo, guys, it's not one moment. This is what I do and I love it.
Yeah.
You almost can't wait to get back to work. You know, it's almost like in that moment you feel so alive. Like, you know, and then after that I must just go run admin. Then classic tour on air and you see that light going red.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Let's go.
20 minutes after 10 and you're listening to the mighty Metro FM. Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, my gosh, it's gorgeous.
You're radiating. I love it when people are existing in their purpose and in their dream.
Thank you.
As you say that, I can see how you're radiating. Take me in and be honest.
Yes.
Why did you leave Kakasi?
At the time, I was kind of battling a few things. I think even in my personal life, and it was a matter of...
La old friend are strong.
Lungelo. But yeah, battling a few things in my life, and I just felt like maybe I'm not in the right space.
Sure.
Maybe I'm not in the right space, and that's when I decided to take a step back.
So it was you who decided,
yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I decided to take a step back. Yeah, mad love for everywhere that I've worked.
Mm-hmm.
Love that station down. I love it so much. Yeah, and I decided to take a step back. Also, thereafter, I was also doing the travel show with SABC1 called Shy Around.
Sure.
So I was traveling a lot, and I just wanted to see where that was going. And once season 1 was done with that, it was a matter of, okay, cool, I've just found out I'm pregnant. So let me just
lay low.
This. Yeah. Yeah.
There's something that happens to us people who spent a lot of time in KZN and who built our brands from their foundation phase in KZN.
Mm-hmm.
We feel like we reach a ceiling. Do you also think there's something that happened within you? You were like, no, it's time to go national.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. My thing is KZN has so much potential.
Sure.
KZN has so much potential, but there's only a selected amount of opportunities that one can engage in, especially within the industry that we're in. But I think it's also our responsibility to create more opportunities there, so people don't feel like
they have to leave
or they're limited.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people feel like they're limited.
Yeah.
And then that's why they'll seek opportunities elsewhere. But it's our responsibility to go plant those seeds that will germinate and provide opportunities for other people.
I love that because when the first year of the podcast was in KZN, had the same feeling that I feel like I've stagnated.
Okay.
Moved to Joburg to pursue the podcast at the level that it's at now.
Yeah.
But, when I watch podcasts now that are from KZN, I'm always in their comment section like a fan.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, do this. Don't let only people in Joburg do this, because part of me is like, I sold out a bit.
Okay.
The vision was to be in KZN and to thrive in KZN. But because of the limitations, as you're saying, I had to be like, okay, I need to open it up to a bigger platform. But what can we do, Zola? You and I both from KZN to bring back the industry in KZN. Like, what can we do right? As I'm saying, I try and comment and be like, because I know the platform has big numbers, be like, keep going, bro. If you're from KZN, keep going, my sister. Keep pushing those numbers. We need KZN voices. Yeah.
So I just want to, the saying bringing back the industry. The industry's there. The industry's there and it's flourishing. It's doing really well. And that's the thing. When something comes from KZN, like it's blessed, it always does well. It always does well.
Yeah.
We see the shows that are shot in KZN.
Yeah.
And they're just so beautiful and so authentic to self. I just think more opportunities are needed. People don't have jobs. People are out here, burning with talent, bustling with talent, but they don't have platforms. Platforms are scarce. They're really, really, really scarce. And because of the scarcity of platforms, this is why we find people, honestly, we can't even judge people for some of the lifestyles that are lived out here because people are just hustling. People are trying to make a living. It's tough. It's tough. And I think also some of us that really are in the industry and grow within the industry really need to look into tapping into providing platforms for others.
Sure.
For those that come after us.
How do you provide a platform without compromising what you are building? Because as much as somebody, because you know how in life there's always somebody who looks at you and wants your life, right? But they don't know the challenges we are going through to sustain this life and what we are still working towards. How do I, as Lungelo, how does Zola provide a platform for somebody else without compromising what I've built as well?
I don't think there's providing for another or giving unto another without compromise.
Sure.
You have to be that passionate. You have to really be wanting to help. And then it doesn't become about you. Once you remove it from it being about you, that's when you'll selflessly be able to give.
Sure.
Because you give of maybe a resource that you have and allow another person to take it because at least you've equipped yourself with the skill of knowing how to get this resource. You can get it again, but people are struggling. Like, I can't emphasize this enough. People are struggling. There aren't enough opportunities. When I was off radio for the 3 years, it's not like I was not trying to get back into radio.
Sure.
I was trying.
Demos upon demos.
It was not working.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, Also, God's timing has its own play in it. When God doesn't want you in a certain setting, you're not going to get into that setting, and it does a lot to your mental health. It does a lot, to your confidence. It almost takes away from when.
True. True.
So, with all of those things, if we can provide platforms for abanye who are coming after us, that you providing a platform for someone else, trust and believe you're going to be blessed. Trust, and you don't have to doubt that. Your sacrifice and you being able to compromise self, you're going to be blessed and you're going to be fine.
3 years of trying to get back into radio and facing countless rejection. Why didn't you give up on year 3, for example?
Yo, Jadi. Give up on Jadi. Ooh, give up how? No. Giving up's not an option.
Sure.
Giving up was never an option.
But it hurts, Zola, to be rejected.
Of course it hurts. But I've done it before. I'll do it again. I've done it before. I'll do it again. I would rather be a soldier that fought than a soldier that hid the whole time. I can fight and die rather than to just be hiding behind a tree.
But bayakuhleba ku-industry mbuka kasekho ku-radio.
That's okay.
Kade sisendela amademo uyafuna ukungena uyabazi.
It's okay. Because now ngesikhathi uqala wayesend idemo unless you took another route. But now wayesend idemo. Wayesend idemo, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
When you want a job, you apply for a job. When you don't get a job, you continue applying. There's no difference. There's nothing embarrassing about hustling for your future yakho.
Sure.
It's your future.
Yeah.
And sana ufuna be bright, iqhakaze sana ezoqhakaza ngesparkling water. It needs hard work.
Persistence.
It needs persistence. It needs consistency.
Yeah.
Determination. Yongindo needs prayer.
You keep on going back there. The prayer point.
Because I will go back there. It changed my life. Changed my life.
Somebody out there, though, doesn't have or see the necessity to have a relationship with God. And you are saying it changed my life and you're adamant.
I can only convince them that it will change your life.
Yeah.
God is there.
Yeah.
You know, He's there for all of us.
Metro FM, how has that been for you?
Boyfriend, yeah. Metro FM is my boyfriend. Yeah.
Your real boyfriend is not happy that you're saying this.
No, don't worry about that. No. No, don't worry about that. But Metro.
Yeah?
Yes, Metro.
Muntu wakho.
Super spicy way, no? King. Yeah, so Metro FM, man, love that place. Love it at home. It's been so beautiful to walk into this family that has embraced me and
Wow.
shown me love and allowed me to grow. I've gotten onto Metro FM. I've learned so much. I'm still learning. Every single time I get the presence, I get the opportunity to be within that building or be in a studio, I'm always seeking to learn from, my fellow colleagues, that have
Ran the race.
yeah, I'm just seeking to learn. I feel like a baby in that house, so I'm always just like, okay, what next? What can you teach me? What can you teach me? And it's so fun. And the team that I work with, I get.
I siyabona.
I get. Kusa.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Once again, prayer has the ability to not just get you the job, but put you in an environment that is so healthy.
Yeah. Just put me in the environment I never knew I needed.
Yeah.
I never ever knew I needed.
Do you remember how you felt on the day you got the yes for Metro FM?
It almost felt like my soul left my body.
Whew.
Like it literally felt like my soul left my body. I just remember like dropping everything and weeping because I was just like, God, you're so great. Like, you took me to my dream station. Like, after 3 years of nothing. And you saw me worthy of this position. Weekend breakfast.
Yeah.
Alongside literally like pioneers of the industry.
Sure.
My life is a testimony, son.
Ne?
Oh, it is a I am literally a walking and a living testimony. And I continue. One day I will literally testify, and yeah, you won't believe.
One day, ne? But this is part of the testimony, by the way.
Of course.
It really is part of the testimony because it doesn't take a book only. The journey and being relatable in the journey, because as I'm saying, there's many young women who are watching this and they're finding relatability in you. There's relatability in the fact that you were at UCT and you thought, oh my gosh, what's my next? And you went and worked for free because you wanted a next and you were adamant about your next being within your passion. There's relatability in you going through difficult times in your personal life. There's relatability in you having a moment of silence for 3 years where you were like, what the hell is going on? So all of that is a testimony as well. And please don't ever feel like it's not big enough.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
Because we have moments where, because we're always seeking more, we're like, maybe I'm not as great as so and so.
Yeah, of course. But like, just work on yourself.
Yeah.
Each journey is the blessings are, and you need to unlock yours. Work on yourself.
Is there really rivalry in the industry among women?
To be quite honest, like, you only experience rivalry once you allow it.
Whew.
Oh, siyathandana. No. Like this hegemonic belief about it's mostly hate. No. Like siyathandana, actually.
Yeah.
Siyathandana. And let me speak on what I'm exposed to. I'm exposed to, female colleagues who we only express love, we're kind to each other. We're constantly learning from each other. I've never had fear of having abangani in the industry or anything like that, because we're creatives. Angithi we're in the arts. It's the media and the arts industry. We're creatives, and your creativity and your talent will flourish in a different way to mine. There's no way we can be the same. People can start comparing us because that's what society does. But when akhumbula uba ungubani, that comparison doesn't mean, oh my gosh, nanku mntu ofana nam. No. We may have certain features, maybe the tone of our voice. Maybe the tone of our voice sounds the same, but we'll never ever deliver anything the same. We'll never ever move person A and person B the same. People will be moved differently, and we are not just our voices. We are way more than that. We carry soul, we carry personal attributes, we carry our own moral and value compass. There's so much that makes us, Abanye bethu siyajiva.
Mweni bamandia.
Oh, I get Devi. Oh, I get. That's my girl. Right.
Zola, you're so hilarious. I'm sure you dabble into comedy somehow, somewhere, ne?
No, how do I dabble into comedy? So tell me, you had more than stand-up comedy.
The first hot stand-up comedian, ne?
You are soze. No.
Break the barrier.
I respect comedians. A lot of people think what we do in the industry is so easy.
Yeah.
I remember on our show, we even asked, what's the easiest profession you think there is?
Yeah.
People were just like a radio presenter.
Yeah,
you just go into work and you speak
for 3 hours. That's what they say.
And you laugh.
Yeah.
And you really don't understand how much work goes into it.
And,
once you're behind that desk and you have all these buttons in front of you and you've got cameras and it's completely different. It's not an easy job. Jengale, oh yes, there's one more bale four hands crossed, all black kolile.
Just in case.
It's easy.
And it's a lot of responsibility.
Of course.
Holding the power of this thing is so crazy. It's beyond us.
Ayithetha indaba ye-light.
Yeah, son, esichopha ngoku.
Uyayazi i-light, i-pressure efakwa yi-light. Mbane.
How do you define purpose?
It's all God-given. And for me, my purpose is to inspire. So with everything that I do, I want to inspire a young girl, especially, but the youth that it's all possible. We grew up in times where being in the media or the arts industry was seen as a really big risk. And I don't think that hegemony has completely been broken. People still think that, if you're going to go get into the arts,
Uzolamba
mdana.
Yeah.
It's not security for the family. Keep in mind, we're black.
You
know? So a lot of us...
economically, we're not there yet.
There's a lot that we need to do that we don't need to do only for ourselves. We have to first give back to the family before we can start our own lives. And in all of that, our parents are always seeking... Let's put you in a place where we know you are guaranteed.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And times have changed, Sana.
How do I find my purpose, Zola? Because you look like, as I say, you radiate when you speak about what you do. And that only happens to a person who believes they're living within their purpose. I think I'm not far off in that belief that you know you are living within it.
Yeah.
How do I find my purpose? Because here I am, I'm sitting at a desk, I'm 28 and I'm an accountant, and I feel like I'm not operating in my purpose. What steps can I take, if there are steps, to find my purpose?
I think the most important thing when trying to find your purpose is being still. And when I say being still, it's just being with yourself, figuring out what is it that I like? What is it that I really don't like? What is it that I'm trying to build? What am I trying to be? Who am I trying to be? And what is the whole notion around zonke ezinto, about who I am, what I want in life, and holistically what my life should represent one day xa sendingekho, and that's how I did it. And also obviously with prayer, realizing that I have all these life journeys that have taught me that life isn't easy, but I still achieve what it is that I want to achieve
Sure.
in God's time.
Sure.
And also just seeing how small little acts that we do in our career encourage and really inspire young individuals. I could never stop what I'm doing. I could never ever stop what I'm doing, and that's why for me it's so important to really put my foot down, work hard until I'm able to afford abanye that come after me opportunities to get into the industry. Because the thing about the industry is that there's no like formalized way of getting in. You almost need to hustle.
There isn't.
There's no formal. Most of these things I could post uzophuma newspaper. Khawuthenga newspaper ndifuna ubona uba post.
And in most cases, there's no formal qualification that's a prerequisite that will guarantee you that me post.
Yeah. It's not like you'll be in varsity, nasi scholarships as a metro. So from there, automatically, it's not like that.
Sure.
So with these parts that are not formalized, I think it's important that people know the way to get in, or there is some sort of formalized manner of getting in. So people are not getting lost.
Yeah.
And not acting from a place of desperation, because acting from a place of desperation is so dangerous. Oh, it's dangerous.
Rubbish.
It is danger. Danger. Sign.
Motherhood.
Oh. Do you believe I'm a mother? Because I don't.
Njani.
And I'm like, he's like, mommy. I'm like, you call like me? Oh, love him. Mino Milani.
What does that do to Zola Mhlongo, motherhood?
He saved me, first of all. He saved me. I thought I was ambitious, but he made me so relentlessly ambitious. Like, giving up was not an option. Like, when I speak about that period, that 3-year period where giving up was not an option, like, he was the one behind all of that. Mino find him yeah, but he was behind all of that. I was just like, there's absolutely no way I'm not going to inspire you, like, to become this great human being that you are. Every single day I pray for my son, and I need to lead the way and, create a pathway for him.
Demonstrate.
Yeah. Need the lead, demonstrate, create a pathway, and be able to afford him the best of what I can.
Yeah. I love that. It seems motherhood heals.
It really does.
Ne?
But it's also my support structure.
Okay.
My support structure, like Ndalo stays with my mom in Durban.
Yeah.
And I go down to Durban literally like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's even more than that. But it's that for me.
You never get him back, ne? That's how mothers become.
No. I will. And also, I didn't give him. No, it's not like that. Like, I go home.
Yeah.
Sister, I right now, I'm a hustling girl, doing my thing, and my mother has afforded me that opportunity.
Yeah.
My mother has afforded me that opportunity. Okay, cool. I understand that you want to have a child, and I'm willing to support you.
Yeah. I love that you're honest about that, because women who are building themselves always want to act like they don't need support. This strong, independent Mbogoto.
Of course. Even my grand also.
Yeah.
Like, my grand supports me.
Yeah.
So I am just blessed. I am blessed to have umakhulu, to have my mother. These are the people that are my support structure. Zola, you've got this opportunity. Don't worry, mtanam, go.
So when we met, last year for the first time properly.
Yes.
We were winning awards.
Well done.
Ne?
Well done, winner.
It was the Mail and Guardian young
200 young.
200 young South Africans.
Yes.
You're still winning awards, nominated for awards. I don't want to get it wrong. So what's the latest award that we're nominated for?
So right now, I've been nominated for the Simon Mapoon.
Yes.
Yeah, the Simon Sabella Awards. And I've been nominated
For which role?
Best Support Actress. On a short film that I did called Sent.
Okay.
That's currently touring the world.
Right.
Oh, sana uchoti. Samba naye, my God. Xolela, son.
Just him.
And in him, vele kuthi nje.
Ne?
Yeah.
How does it feel to be nominated now for acting? I mean, all these things that you do are being recognized in their different spheres, and they're not being recognized at a small scale.
How does it feel? It feels like I need to do more.
That's home, Zola.
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I just, yeah, like I'm far from where I want to be, but I'm not where I was.
Ne?
But I'm so far from where I want to be.
That progress you speak of.
Yeah.
And that's why you have gratitude.
Yeah. And awards like this, like, kind of reassure me.
Sure.
Because even a nomination for me, I'm just like, just for Ubonwa in such a large pool, is honestly just a blessing in itself, like doing it already. And that encourages me, it encourages me that carry on. There's something, somehow. Yeah. Carry on.
We're nearing the end of our conversation. What's that one thing in life you know for sure and you're absolutely certain of?
Suddenly can pose a question. That's a tough question. One thing in life that I am certain of. Sure. And Balufo. I believe I am very certain that I'll stop at nothing to create the life of my dreams. I will stop at nothing. If I'm to refine that also, stopping at nothing, creating the life of my dreams is being able to provide opportunities for other people. And whether my platform is small or my platform is big,
Yeah.
I will open doors for abanye abantu. I will definitely keep the door open for one that comes after me.
Ne? Unstoppable.
There's space for all of us.
Sure.
There's space for all of us. If there's talent. But it's space. Sikona.
Ne?
And it can be done the right way.
Zola Mhlongo, I'll be looking out for that bozo you're going to post. Oh, we're going straight to husband. It's fine. Oksala will be watching and waiting.
No, there's no bozo.
There's no
bozo.
No,
there's no bozo.
There's Metro FM.
Boyfriend. I came to Lungelo. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute privilege. I can't wait for the next time we get to chat. This is home for you.
Yeah.
When you're doing other bigger, greater, amazing things. It's been an absolute privilege. You're a light.
Thank you.
You're such a light.
Thank you so much.
You're such a light.
Thanks for allowing me to have a seat on such a big, warm.
See, big.
So big. And this is comfort.
Ne?
And this is strong. Yeah, thank you.
It's a privilege.
You for that. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Zola Mhlongo, as I said, this episode, if you tapped into it, was about growing in areas of your life that perhaps you didn't necessarily realize that you need to grow into. And challenge the wisdom that you thought you had in those areas. The show is Engineer Your Life, and I'm Lungelo KM. I'll see you guys on the next episode.